Okay, um, today we are going to go through um, Monday's price action and maybe analyze a little bit what should happen today on EU. So, so what's happened yesterday, Monday? So basically, we had a bank holiday in multiple European countries, French, German, for example. So euro had a little bit lower liquidity, or at least it usually has, and similar stuff with Canadian dollar. Now that doesn't really mean that we can't trade, and some people kind of avoid trading during these days, but I'm fine with trading these days because I understand that if my drawn liquidity is correct, even though the volume in market and the liquidity is kind of lower, we still usually are driving to like the areas that I'm looking at. So understanding that we can still get involved in our setups if they are highly likely. So let's start from here. Let's actually start from like 4 hour chart, because because we had a huge push to the upside here Friday. Um, yeah, very great push there. And you created this low, which mitigated this fair value gap already. So if we were like extremely bullish, we wouldn't have had like too big of a reason to push lower. But GU, for example, hadn't taken that fair value gap out, so we had a reason to short this. Also, the fact that the candles are closing very well inside of this 4 hour fair value gap, that that just makes me think that as these candles are respecting this fair value gap, um, this just looks bearish to me. And then I scale down, and then when I see like huge range in here, almost like relative equal lows in here, big range to go to the upside, and there are a lot of room to kind of try price into. We got some order block area in here, uh, supply area. We got that 4 hour fair value gap from which we are reacting bearishly. So now I'm thinking, okay, maybe sales are like a good option here to go for. Okay, then as I have identified sells, what do I want to see usually? I go to M15, M15, M5. What do I want to see when I have identified that sells are probably viable option in here? This is like exactly what you want to see. So Asian range kind of either trending like this to the upside or then just fully consolidating like this. But usually when we are having the shift from Asia to London, you want, for example, if you want to see London shorting, you usually want to have um, the shift happening in the upside of Asia, just like this, so that when Asia session ends here, pre-London session can sweep the Asia highs and then shift in structure to short. And this is pretty much what you want to see every time, and this is the best scenario for shorts, So the highest probability shorts happen exactly in this kind of scenario where London takes Asia high and then shifts in structure and goes for the Asia low, as you can see happened here. So M50 structure is sometimes entry time frame for me as well, but quite often I go, and most often I go to M5 time frame. So let's take a look at that. So sorry. So M5 time frame provided good short. As you can see, that happened 10 a.m. my time, so it's basically um, where London session opens. So that is like the greatest entry that you can have here. So, and this is what I would have had because I didn't take this trade. I was in school, and that's kind of unfortunate, but that's just how my life is right now. So we basically broke structure to the downside, created this fair value gap, and then you would have had your sell limit entry at that fair value gap low. And look how precise that entry would have been. The M15 candle would have taken you in and then wicked heavily to the downside and like continued immediately with huge push. And and here you could have even had your stop here, but I don't tend to have so small stops. I'm fine with the 4 pip stop, but usually I don't go much smaller than 4 pips. Um, but yeah, very good entry. Everything kind of played to our analysis in here. Then I usually tend to only look at these, and I don't really take these kind of setups because you could have sold this again in here. But because I'm only a year into this, and I'm still a little bit like hesitant with certain things, and I don't want to deviate away from my initial plan as of now. So understanding that this could have been a good sell here, but it's just not part of my plan. I don't take these sells here. I usually take the setup if it occurs in like first hour of the session here. In that kind of scenario, I like it the most. Whereas in here we are past the lunchtime, and yeah, just I would in this kind of scenario, yeah, you could have taken that if you are confident with your understanding of the market structure. But what I kind of decided to do is wait, and I was in school in here anyway. But uh, I would have decided to wait and look for New York session. Now, what New York session did is nothing really. We kind of just retraced because like 15:30 my time, Eastern European Standard Time, to like 18. This is the area where I usually get my setups and take my trades. Now, there was really nothing. You theoretically could have understood that this as your order book. Here you can see we react to the downside from that. Break structure. Someone could have sold in here. And I would say this is even some like valid in some way. But you understand that if you put your stop here, you would have got stopped out. How do you put your stop up here? That would have held actually, and you would have taken a good trade here. But yeah, the reason why I wouldn't have taken this is because this is like past my time, and I just like maybe in some scenario I could make the exception and take it, but especially when we are in in a day where you have like bank holidays all over the place. So I don't want to take that because of that especially. But yeah, so today we had good setup. Uh, Unfortunately, I missed it, but I was able to read it real time when I was in class. I just prefer not to take it because I can't really concentrate in that environment. But yeah, Nice day of price action. London provided good setup. New York, not really. Um, you could have sold New York, but not according to my plan.